उद्याच्या टेस्टसाठी जे टॉपिक्स आहेत ते दोन टॉपिक्स थर्मोडायनेमिक अँड कायनेटिक स्टॅबिलिटी ऑफ मेटल कॉम्प्लेक्सेस. दुसरं आहे इनऑर्गॅनिक रिॲक्शन मेकॅनिझम. या दोन टॉपिकवर एकूण 25 MCQ विचारले जाणार आहे. तर उद्याची ऑनलाईन एक्झाम ही व्यवस्थित तुम्हाला अटेम्प्ट करता यावी याच्याकरता ही आजची झूम मीटिंग अरेंज केलेली आहे. याच्यामध्ये पहिल्यांदा आपण जो टॉपिक सुरू करणार आहे तो म्हणजे थर्मोडायनेमिक अँड कायनेटिक स्टॅबिलिटी ऑफ मेटल कॉम्प्लेक्सेस हा टॉपिक सुरू करणार आहे, ज्याच्यावर एकूण 10 MCQ मी विचारलेले आहेत. आणि दुसरा जो टॉपिक आहे इनऑर्गॅनिक रिॲक्शन मेकॅनिझम त्याच्यावर एकूण 15 MCQ मी विचारलेले आहे. तर हे MCQ रिलेटेड आज आपण हे डिस्कशन कम रिव्हिजन करणार आहोत. तर जो पहिला पार्ट आपण डिस्कस करणार आहोत तो म्हणजे थर्मोडायनेमिक अँड कायनेटिक स्टॅबिलिटी ऑफ मेटल कॉम्प्लेक्सेस. या टॉपिकमध्ये the much more emphasis that is given on the thermodynamic stability, the meaning of this stability, and the kinetic stability. What is the meaning of kinetic stability? The thermodynamic stability आपण ज्यावेळी म्हणतो त्याला this thermodynamic stability is related to the metal ligand bond energy. That means if the interaction between metal and ligand, if it is strong enough, that leads to a very stable complex. In other words, if the interaction between metal and ligand, if it is not strong or it is weak, that leads to unstable complex. So thermodynamic stability concerned with the metal ligand bond energy. If this metal ligand bond energy, if it is very strong, then on account of which the already formed complex is very stable. Secondly, the kinetic stability, which is correlated with the rate and mechanism of the reaction. The rate and mechanism, that is the rate of a reaction and how the reaction proceeds further, that is wholly determined by kinetic stability. So kinetic stability is related to the rate and mechanism of the reaction. The stable complex thus formed, that is again correlated with the rate and the mechanism, and these two parameters also responsible for the inertness and the lability of the complex also. Therefore, the thermodynamic stability is expressed in terms of an equilibrium constant, what we call as a beta. It is written in terms of a Greek letter beta. For example, if you refer your notes, in the notes I have given one example where we have determined the stability of the complex. If we consider two different complexes and if the stability constant, that is a beta value, if of such complex, if it is higher, that indicates the stability of the complex. In other words, the lower values of the stability constants indicate unstable complex. So I have given in the notes the two different complexes where one complex is having high stability constant value, which is definitely very stable. So the greater the value of stability constant, that is beta, greater will be the stability of the complex. So the reciprocal or the inverse of this stability constant is known as the instability constant, which is 1 upon beta. So whenever we represent a particular value by 1 upon beta, it is definitely an instability constant value. If we see one example, for example, I have given you the example of AgNH3 twice plus, which ionizes into Ag plus twice NH3. And another complex is CuNH3 plus. On ionization, it gives Cu2 plus twice NH3. By putting the values of concentration of both these complexes and the concentrations of the Ag ion, NH3 ion, and the Cu+2 ion, if the K values, that is instability constant values, if are calculated, then the complex which is having the smaller value of instability constant is more stable. So these are the two contrast parameters where we have arrived that greater the value of stability constant, that is beta, and smaller the value of instability constant, the stable will be the complex. So the stability of these complexes wholly depends upon the beta values and the instability constant, that is 1 upon beta value. So if we try to represent the formation of a complex, that is beta 1, beta 2, beta 3 and so on, that is the overall stability constant can be determined just by it is a product of beta 1 into beta 2 into beta 3. Sometimes the question may be twisted that the overall stability constant may be represented as beta is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 plus beta 3. It is not the addition of the stability constant, but it is the product of the stability constant. And I also ask such type of question tomorrow also. Now, what are the factors which are responsible for the stability of the complexes? There are two such factors. One is the nature of metal, another is the nature of the ligand. Here, if we look at the nature of metal, then there are again three subpoints are involved. The first, that is charge on metal, second is the size of metal, and third is the electronegativity of metal. It is seen that higher the charge on metal and smaller the size of metal and higher electronegativity value of a metal, that leads to the stability. So high charge, small size and high electronegativity of metal, that leads to the stability of the constant. Secondly, the nature of ligand, that also matters, where the size of ligand, basic character of ligand, and the size, that is the number of chelate ligands. Here it is seen that the size of ligand should be very small, that leads to the stable complex. The basic character, the more the basic character of the ligand, more will be the stability, and number of chelate rings. If the number of chelate rings are greater, that leads to the stability of the complex. So these are the points you should bear in mind for the tomorrow's online exam. Once again, I would like to repeat thermodynamic stability, which is related to the metal ligand bond energy. Secondly, the kinetic stability, which is related to the rate and mechanism. The overall stability constant, that is beta, is nothing but it is a product of beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, that is beta 1 multiplied by beta 2 multiplied by beta 3 and multiplied by beta n. Again, the nature of metal and ligand, the charge, size and electronegativity of metal, that matters. The higher the charge on metal, smaller the size and higher electronegativity of metal, that leads to more stable complexes. Secondly, the nature of ligand. The size of ligand should be small, that means it should attract the metal ion very easily. More the basic character of ligand, that is if we consider amongst ammonia ligand and another basic ligand, that is neutral ligand, for example water, then ammonia is more basic, that forms a stable complex, and the number of chelate rings, that is 5 or 6 membered chelate rings, that form a more stable complex. So this is all about the first topic that I would like to discuss is a thermodynamic and kinetic stability of metal complexes, where we have seen some three important points: thermodynamic stability, that is the bond energy between metal and ligand; kinetic stability, that is the rate and mechanism; and thirdly, the factors which affect this stability. The second point I would like to the second point that I would like to discuss is the inorganic reaction mechanism. Here, in inorganic reaction mechanism, we have seen certain substitution reactions. We also defined in the beginning of this topic that those substitution reactions in which the if in substitution reactions, if ligands are replaced, all such reactions are known as a nucleophilic substitution reaction, what we call as SN. So SN stands for the substitution of the ligands. So SN stands for the nucleophilic substitution reactions. That is, all nucleophiles are regarded as ligands, or ligands are defined as the nucleophiles. So when the ligand is replaced, all such reactions are known as a nucleophilic substitution, SN. This question I also asked tomorrow. In some of the reactions, when the central metal ion is replaced, those reactions are known as electrophilic substitution reactions, what we call as SE. That is, when the metal ion is replaced, all such reactions are known as a electrophilic substitution reaction. So metal ions are regarded as electrophiles. So SN when ligands are replaced, Se when the metal ion is replaced. Based on the whether the metal or ligand is replaced, there can be SN1 and SN2 type of reactions, that is unimolecular dissociative type of mechanism, where the rate of reaction is depends upon only one factor or only one species. That means we have considered, if we consider one complex, that is Ml6 or MX6, where this complex first of all dissociates. That means one of the ligand that is dissociated so as to form a penta-coordinated complex. This step of the reaction is slow. If you refer your notes, you can see also that first step of the reaction is very slow, and which leads to a pentacoordinated complex. And again, this complex where Y, that is the entering ligand or new ligand, that is substituted so as to form again a new complex. Such reaction in which the rate of reaction that wholly depends upon only the slow step of the reaction. The slow step of the reaction is nothing but the dissociation of Ml6 or MX6 into MX5 or ML5, which is a slow. As the rate of reaction is determined by slow step of the reaction, so the rate of reaction that depends upon only one species, hence the word unimolecular. The word unimolecular means the rate of reaction that depends upon only one species. Based on this concept, if we look at the biomolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction, which are known as SN2 reactions, here this type of reactions are known as a dissociative type of reactions, while SN1 reactions are known as an associative type of mechanism. Sorry, the first reaction is a dissociative reaction where one ligand that is dissociated, but in SN2 reaction, that is biomolecular reaction, where the rate of reaction depends upon two species. So if we look at one reaction that I have given, that Ml6 plus Y, here the new ligand, that is Y ligand, that gets first of all associated so as to form a 7 coordinated complex which is having pentagonal bipyramidal geometry, and here 7 coordinated complex again dissociates so as to form the required complex by replacing one of the ligand from Ml6 or MX6 so as to form a octahedral complex. So in such type of reaction, the first step, that is the association of entering ligand, is a slow step of a reaction, and according to the knowledge of kinetics of reaction, the rate can be determined with the slow step of the reaction. So here slow step of the reaction is nothing but the association of new ligands so as to form 7 coordinated complex. So as the rate of reaction that depends upon the concentration of the complex and the concentration of entering ligand, that means two species are involved, and hence here two species determine the rate of reaction, hence it is known as a bimolecular. Two molecules, they are responsible for the rate of the reaction, and hence it is known as SN2. So the numeric letter 2 determines that the rate of reaction depends upon two species. Now the third type of mechanism is interchange mechanism. Firstly, we have seen SN1 mechanism, where we have seen that the octahedral complex from which one of the ligand that gets dissociated, hence SN1 is dissociative type of mechanism. SN2 is an associative type of mechanism where new or entering ligand that gets associated. And third type is the interchange mechanism where the entering and leaving ligand, they exchange simultaneously. That means if the newer ligand or entering ligand that approaches the complex, then one of the ligand that is departed from the complex. So the bond becomes weak and it is ready to break, and new ligand that gets added. So in such type of mechanism, the entering and the leaving ligands, they exchange simultaneously, and hence this particular mechanism is known as interchange mechanism, where the entering and leaving ligands, they exchange simultaneously based on the nucleophilic substitution, that is SN, where ligands are replaced, electrophilic substitution, where the metal ion is replaced, and in the unimolecular substitution reactions, bimolecular substitution reactions, we have to proceed with the inert and labile complexes. We have defined the labile complexes as those complexes which permit quick exchange of one or other ligand are known as a labile complexes. That means such complexes, they are ready to exchange the ligands. So the inert complexes where the exchange of these ligands is very slow, or they are unable to exchange the ligands, or they are rather chemically inert so as to exchange the ligands, and hence these ligands, these complexes are known as the inert. That means they are inert or inactive, so they do not permit quick exchange of ligands, and hence all such complexes are known as the inert complexes. So labile ligands which permit quick exchange of ligands, and the inert ligands which do not permit quick exchange of ligands. We have seen one concept according to valence bond theory, that is outer orbital octadial complexes and inner orbital octadial complexes. Here we have to generalize. Yes, only 10 minutes are left. I will conclude within 10 minutes. So all labile complexes are where there is a quick exchange of ligands is there. These labile complexes where outer orbital complexes are involved. Outer orbital complex means where sp3d2, d orbitals are outer orbitals. So outer orbital complexes are there. All such complexes are labile complexes. So the word labile, outer orbital complex, sp3d2, you have to remember. And in other words, the inert complexes, all inner orbital octadial complexes where inner 2d orbitals are employed in hybridization, where d2 sp3 hybridization is there, all such complexes are inert. So inner orbital octadial complexes, these are inert complexes. That means they do not permit quick exchange of ligands. With regard to all these parameters, if we look at the cis and trans isomers, as we know that the cis isomer, that means the identical groups which are present on same side, and trans isomers means identical groups are opposite to each other or they are diagonally placed. So in conclusion, if whenever chloride as a ligand is there, chloride is always a trans-directing ligand. So whenever chlorine is involved, that leads always to a trans isomer. And whenever NH2 ligand is there, NH2 ligand is a cis-directing ligand, and hence NH2 ligand, whenever it is there, then this NH2 ligand that leads to a cis type of isomer. So chloride leads to a trans isomer, and NH2 ligand that leads to a cis isomer. You should remember that all chloride ions or NH2 ligands, they are the trans and cis isomers respectively. So if a reaction, if it involves chloride ligand, that always leads to a trans isomer, and ammonia ligand 5 मिनिटात थांबा, 5 मिनिट. ठीक आहे. So chloride is a trans-directing ligand, and ammonia, that is NH2, that is a cis-directing ligand. So I have also asked the MCQ based on cis and trans-directing. Chlorine is a trans-directing and NH2 is a cis-directing. So in brief, in conclusion, in inorganic reaction mechanism, the substitution reactions where the ligands are replaced are known as a nucleophilic substitution, which are abbreviated as SN, and the substitution reaction where the metal ion is exchanged is known as electrophilic substitution reaction. The unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reactions, which are known as the dissociative type of SN1 reaction, where first of all the octahedral complex gets dissociated, where the rate of reaction depends upon only one species. Secondly, the biomolecular or SN2 type of reaction is known as associative type of mechanism, where the new or entering ligand that first of all gets associated so as to form a 7 coordinated complex. In unimolecular type of reaction, a pentacoordinated complex is formed. This question also asked in MCQ. And in biomolecular type of reactions, where the rate of reaction that depends upon two species, that is the rate of concentration of the complex and the concentration of the entering ligand. So here this type of mechanism is known as an associative type of mechanism. Thirdly, we have seen the interchange mechanism, where we have seen that the entering and leaving ligands, they exchange simultaneously. Whenever there is an exchange of ligands simultaneously taking place, such type of mechanism is known as an interchange. There is an interchange between entering and the leaving ligand, which again leads to a new complex. Such mechanism is known as an interchange mechanism. We have also seen the inert and labile complexes, where the labile complexes are nothing but the complexes which permit quick exchange of ligands. All outer orbital octahedral complexes, that is sp3 d2 hybridized complexes, are labile complexes where they permit quick exchange of ligands, and the inert ligands are those which do not permit quick exchange of ligands, are known as the inert complexes. All inner orbital octahedral complexes, that is D2sp3, the inner 2d orbitals are employed for hybridization. All such complexes, they are inert, that means they do not permit quick exchange of ligands. Also, we have seen the cis and trans isomers. Chlorine, whenever ligand chlorine is there, it is always a trans-directing ligand, so that always leads to a trans isomer. And whenever NH2 ligand is there, that leads to a cis isomer. So NH2 ligand, you have to remember, that leads to a cis isomer. Chlorine, that leads to a trans-directing ligand that forms a trans isomer also. So these are the two topics where I have pointed out some points of interest with regard to the tomorrow's online examination. So only 3 minutes are left. If you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, I will stop. If you want, I will send this video. You can see the YouTube video also, that will be beneficial to attempt the tomorrow's examination. With regard to tomorrow's examination, 4 fields are mandatory or required fields in the Google form. The first, you have to enter correct email ID. The second, your WhatsApp mobile number. Third is your PRN and the name. These 4 fields are mandatory or compulsory. If you forget to write any description with regard to all these 4 fields, then the form may not be submitted. While Entering the mobile number, you have to enter the mobile number in English letters. That is the letter, that is the numeric 1, 2, 3, 4. Because yesterday some BSc 2 students have entered these numbers in Marathi script. So these forms, some 18 students, they are rejected by the Google form. Google may not understand the Marathi numeric. So you have to write your mobile number in 1, 2, 3, your regular fonts. So after completion of 25 questions, at the bottom on left hand side, a submit button will be there, and you have to click the submit button and your form will be submitted. So only 1 minute is left. So I would like to conclude here. I wish you all the best for your tomorrow's examination. Thank you very much.